Hey everyone, I hope you had a great weekend hanging out at home in your pajamas. Welcome back to being at school, probably also in your pajamas. That's okay. We're going to continue learning about gravity and kind of looking at what the relationship between objects are as we increase and decrease masses and distance. So, just a couple of quick notes. I know we've already gone through part of this slideshow. Quick reminder, if you need access to the notes, they are right here on Gravity Slides. Oh, there's like 4 open now. Okay. So gravity is one of the 4 fundamental forces of the universe. It tells us that masses are attracted to one another. A quick thing. So the other main forces you might remember are the weak nuclear force, the strong nuclear force. We talked about that when we talked about nuclear power. And then also electromagnetism, which is our very last unit, but which you've probably had some intro to. Now, when we talk about electromagnetism, a big thing is that opposites attract, right? Opposite charges attract each other. Like charges are going to repel each other. They are not interested. Gravity works a little similarly in that things are attracted to each other. However, that sort of duality isn't here anymore. So when I talk about maybe magnetism, then we have poles, north and south. When we talk about electricity, we have positives and negatives. For gravity, there's no A and B option. There is just being attracted, getting together. So gravity is about the attraction of masses to each other, and it really only depends upon 2 things. And that is using this equation. So the force of gravity is just going to be equal to this constant, which we're going to get some practice in multiplying probably next time for Wednesday and Thursday's lesson. We'll just have some math. And the only thing that gravity really depends on is the mass of the 2 objects that are attracted to each other and the distance between the center of those 2 objects. So we're going to square this, we're going to multiply these 2 things together, multiply all of that after you divide it by the universal gravitation constant, and that gives you the force of gravity. This is usually a tiny, tiny number, like real small. We're going to look at that a little bit today. Let's see. Because this is so small, so we talked about how all masses attract each other. However, if you're talking about the types of masses like, I don't know, a ball and a paperclip, or yourself and your dog, then those masses, even though they have some gravitational attraction, are not actually going to have much observable effect, because the masses themselves are so small that they really don't ever overcome these in a way that you could observe. So the sort of gravity that you can observe is only for incredibly large masses, like planet-sized masses. Those are the ones that matter. So that is our brief recap. We'll be using this equation later this week, and then we might spend one more day on gravity, or we might just go ahead and move on to Kepler's laws, depending on how y'all are feeling about gravity. So let's go ahead and look at today's lesson, keeping it short. Make sure you have submitted this. If you have not, the cosmic explosions. And then I'm still waiting on some of you guys for your light CER. I sort of kind of regret giving a writing assignment now, but not enough to say you get a pass on it. So I'll just refrain from those in the future, and you'll finish this one, and it'll all be like quality work, and we'll all just be like happy together, but apart. So today we're doing a Phet Lab. That's right, and I checked and made sure this wasn't one that someone had already done a bunch of. So as per usual, fill out your exit ticket. Thank you for all those who participated in questions about black holes. You were technically supposed to answer someone else's, but I think the formatting was kind of weird. So I'm going to see about more discussion-based sort of checking questions for attendance assignments as we go forward, but I'll work on the formatting of those to where you can kind of have it more like a comment session. For today, go ahead and fill out the exit ticket. It's 2 short questions and one other about just how life is going. I'd like to know. And then your actual assignment is the Gravity Phet Lab. There's a couple of things here. So number 1, there is a 5-minute video. I would like you to watch this. And then you just write 2 things about gravity you learned from this video. Okay, it's a good video. Next, go ahead and go to the Gravity Phet Lab. I have both the English and the Spanish version on here. That's one of the benefits of Phet Labs versus Google Classroom, is that you get a lot more sort of options. And you're just going to answer a couple questions. So a few of them are just describing things. How do you change the amount of force on gravity? What's the biggest effect on the amount of gravity? One of them is filling out a chart. So you play with the masses, you play with the positions, and you just write the numbers that they give you. Okay? You're filling your own values here. That means make it up. And by make it up, I mean like fill out this one, but just make up numbers. Don't invent numbers. All right, this one's kind of fun. So they give you the gravitational forces, and you have to kind of play around with it and figure out, all right, what are these mystery numbers? Or, key note, you get in some extra practice and just try solving using the equation. Or else you could just kind of play with it. Okay, a couple more questions. These are all true or false. What I'd like you to do is just T or F, and don't even worry about the rest of it. Now, real quick, let's go and look at what this Phet Lab looks like. Click on the English version. Alrighty, so we have a few things going here. Here is mass 1 and our mass 2. We can increase or decrease these. I would mute this. It makes a really weird balloon sound. I don't know why. Okay, remember that these are going to be in kilograms, but you can go from 10 all the way up to 1,000. I wonder if it'll let you. No, okay, you can't go past 1,000. Over here, you can do the same thing to mass 2. The other thing you can do, you can make them close together, increasing gravitational pull, or farther apart. And notice those kind of drop off really quickly. Force values. So here's going to be a kind of confusing thing. I would prefer you guys not press the constant size. That just kind of keeps the masses as is. You can play around with it if you want, but it's more fun, I think, to play with the masses. The force values you're going to want to keep open. It is your preference. You can either have it in decimal notation, so it's 0.000001 and then so on, or you can change that to scientific notation, so times 10 to the negative 6. I feel like scientific notation kind of helps me keep track of just how far apart these values are and also how small they are. So you'll notice times 10 to the negative 6 is very tiny. If I have 2 really large masses, I get them really close together. It still only goes to 10 to the negative 5th. But that increased by like a whole order of magnitude. So that's crazy. You also have the actual vectors. So I think the key thing here just to notice is the arrows are pointing at each other always, because gravity is an attractive force and it is never a repulsive force. And also that, the magnitude of the arrows, not very large here. And then boom, check that out. That's pretty much all there is to it. Okay. Let's see. Can I make this any bigger? Yeah. All right. This is the most amount of gravity you can have. Notice it is still 10 to the negative 5th newtons. So incredibly small, even for 2 objects that weigh 1,000 kilograms, which is 1 ton. Boom. Check that out. It's the gravitational pull of maybe 2 elephants. They should have made these elephant sized. That would have been fun. All right, I hope you guys are staying safe and washing your hands a lot, social distancing, practicing good mental health, showering every day, things of that nature. Go ahead and make sure you're paying attention to your rubric. This is what your grades look like and how they are reflected. If you're getting overwhelmed with assignments, I would work on focusing on the graded assignments and then completing the other ones as they come up. For seniors, you just got a few weeks left. You just gotta hold on. I understand your pain. We were all there at one point, but you just gotta ride this out. For many of you, this would have been AP exam time. So I mean, the stress is at least a little bit less, hopefully. Please let me know if you need anything, and I will talk to you all hopefully in office hours.